President-elect Trump is at 42%.
Exactly.
It's the lowest in history for any incoming president. In history, George W. Bush, who half the country believes stole the election, was at 59 at this point. 59. He came in under much more divisive terms than President-elect Trump did, and yet he did work to unite the country and got to 59 by this stage. Barack Obama, of course, was at 68 before he entered. And this is the honeymoon, Mr. President-elect, and you're at 42. If he wants to succeed, he has got to move that number above 50 and keep it above 50 for his entire first year, or he won't. The Democrats can block his legislation. Carrier will help a lot.
Right.
Things
Carrier
like that help a lot.
The speech did. Because
yes.
Carrier was a home run for him.
Yes.
I think he's on a roll generally. But I think to go to Paul's point, it does matter.
It does.
Whether he amasses a larger, following than he now has. Just wait till he gets into a fight about Obamacare, but especially if he gets into a fight about Medicare or Medicaid. Those are very, very tough fights.
Part of his problem, as I think it was you, Dana, that talked about this conservative populist alliance that he's trying to govern through, where again, Paul Ryan is in love with the TPP, may elope with the TPP, but meanwhile Trump hates the TPP. So how does that work out? He's going to have to reach out. He's on the one hand, he says he's a war hawk, he's going to smash ISIS. On the other hand, he says he's not going to do anything. So whichever way he goes, if he's going to be an isolationist, he's got to reach out. If he's going to be a war leader, he's got to reach out. So he does have to reach out at some point. But I think right now he feels, you guys told me to reach out the entire campaign, and I didn't reach out the entire campaign, and I'm President of the United States, and you guys are on TV talking about me.
And yeah, you talk about reaching out. We had Elizabeth Warren, Senator Warren, on last night, and I kept trying to ask her, well, what is your strategy on TPP? I mean, you seem to agree basically with Donald Trump. You both oppose it. Is that something you would work with him on, infrastructure? And she's not willing to say she's willing to work. I mean, it doesn't seem like, as a Democrat, Paul, what do you want to see the Democrats do? Do you want them to do what Mitch McConnell stated early on in the Obama administration?
I've talked to several of them, and they keep coming back to infrastructure and Medicare on the two poles. If he really wants an infrastructure bill, the Democrats have wanted one for years. Guess what? There was a bill that Debbie Stabenow had, a senator from Michigan, a Democrat, in 2014 that was called the Bring Jobs Home Act. And it taxed corporations who shipped jobs overseas and rewarded corporations who brought jobs home.
That's
exactly
socialism.
the Carrier deal today. The Republicans killed it. Democrats, 100% of the Democrats voted.
Can I just add on? When
Trump should go and nationalize this. That's what I'm saying. He should reach out to Debbie Stabenow right now and say, Senator, why don't you join with me and we'll take Carrier and take it nationally.
Why is it that when Democrats propose that stuff, it's called socialism, and when you guys propose it, it's called patriotism?
Interesting thing, on medical savings accounts, which is part of the Tom Price plan, Dick Gephardt at one time was a co-sponsor of it and had supported it, but then when Obama got in power, MSA's medical savings account, horrible thing, and all the Democrats turned against it. I actually think the American people are fed up with the politics. Elijah Cummings said today he wanted to work, a very liberal Democrat, as you know, wanted to work with Trump. And I think that's a good sign,
but
just for him to say that.
We had Karine Jean-Pierre on last night from MoveOn.org. She was saying, no, Democrats should be the resistance. That's
a split.
You know what?
In our party.
Republicans did it to then President Obama when he first came in. Democrats should, it's payback.
Every meeting right now, and I've been in most of them or called in, among the progressives is, should it be obstruction, war to the knife, stop this guy everywhere, or should there be a more constructive opposition to try to help the country?
Which way is coming out? Which way is it going to come out?
I don't know yet.
But I mean, there's one thing, you know, there's a political discussion on that, but then there's also a governance issue, and what's good, you know, what's good for politics and what's good for the country are not the same thing.
Here's where Trump is going to resolve it for the Democrats. He's going to come with an infrastructure bill that's larded with corporate special interests, and the Democrats won't be able to support it. They really want to. They honestly do. They want to put working people back to work. But their fear, at least on the Hill, and I've talked to a lot of them, is that they're going to load this up with lobbyists and special interest giveaways, and then they'll have to oppose it.
I disagree, and I'll tell you why. Because when President Obama came out with his stimulus bill without Republican support, then Obamacare without Republican support, it was a mistake. And I think most Democrats would admit that. You've got to do these things on a bipartisan fashion. And I believe that what he's going to do is he's going to figure out which Democrats will work with me and how can we get some things done. And
which
sort of
was
pick
the
off
Reagan
a few.
strategy.
I mean, it's just...
And there may be more Democrats, I mean, in some of these states, you know, some of these sort of borderline states that are willing to work with him.
23 up for re-election.
Right, exactly.
But he never told us how he's going to pay for anything tonight.
Oh, he will. Yeah.
There was nothing about how do you pay for the taxes, how do you pay for the infrastructure, how do you pay for all these things.
He's talked about the pension plan, which is a step, and he has talked about repatriation of money. And you cannot do infrastructure or health care reform, as we all know, without tax reform. And part of tax reform has always been repatriating that money back home. So that's...
That was not in that speech.
It might not be in the speech, but he's been talking about that for weeks now. And the Treasury and Commerce folks have been talking about it, too.